These are the answers and explanations to the questions on the TED Talk by Kathryn Schultz called Don't Regret Regret. This is an inference question where you are being asked to figure out what the author's purpose is, in this case, what the speaker's purpose is in including something she does. So the question asks you why the speaker includes Johnny Depp at the beginning of her talk. While it may be cool to include Depp, that is not why she does it. She also is not C trying to suggest that anybody who gets a tattoo is stupid. She herself admits to getting a tattoo. And while it references alcohol because his tattoo changed to wino, she is not attempting to criticize all Hollywood actors or even Johnny Depp for drinking too much. She includes the example of Depp's tattoo as an example of a tattoo that was a mistake. B. This is not an inference question. This is a literal question. The answer is right there in the speech, and all you have to do is find it. The question 2 asks you when the speaker regretted getting her tattoo. And the answer is A, immediately. She said, I got my tattoo when I was 29 and I regretted it instantly, which is another word for immediately. And then she goes on to say, when I stepped outside the tattoo place, I had an emotional meltdown. So it was so instant that she regretted it the moment she walked out of the tattoo parlor, and therefore the answer is A. The key to success on question 3 is understanding the difference between literal and figurative language. When the speaker talks about drinking our great cultural Kool-Aid, she is not literally talking about drinking Kool-Aid. And so answer A, because drinking too much Kool-Aid is one thing she regrets about her childhood, is not correct. That is too literal. She does not talk about drinking too much Kool-Aid, and she doesn't mention that that's something she did too much of in childhood. Answer B is also incorrect because she never says that feeling regret is like being drunk. She uses the word drunk in this quote, but not to refer to being drunk, like having consumed too much alcohol. Answer D is also incorrect because she does not compare regret to Kool-Aid. She doesn't compare the two. What she means here, and this is a complex metaphor, is that when she says she had drunk our great cultural Kool-Aid about regret, she means that she had easily taken in, like drunk, the common belief about regret, which is that lamenting things that occurred in the past is a waste of the time, and that it's better not to look backwards but to look forwards. So answer C is the correct answer. She is using a metaphor to show how easy it is to believe that what's done is done. Question 4 again is a literal question. The answer is right there in the speech. You don't have to infer or conclude anything. You just have to look for it. The trick with this question is you may be tempted to some wrong answers because you may believe from your outside experience that they are true. So the key to success in this question is focusing on what is said in the speech. According to the speaker, the inability to experience regret is typical for people who D have brain damage. That is the correct answer. She said that one of the diagnostic characteristics of people who have had damage to their orbital frontal cortex of their brains is that they can't feel regret. So the answer is D. Maybe people who have had bad parenting or grew up wealthy or are unintelligent, maybe they have trouble experiencing regret, maybe they don't. The author never mentions those factors. With almost every passage on the MCA test, you will need to at some point figure out what this author's main point is. That is a key skill. In this speech or the segment of the speech that you heard today, the speaker's main point is B, we need to learn how to live with our regrets. She even says that that is a skill that we need to be fully functional. A, we need to forget our mistakes and move on, is the kind of thinking that she's arguing against. That is exactly opposite of what she's trying to argue. C, we need to stop making bad decisions, is not her main point. She knows that that is common with human beings, that that's not going to go away. And D, she uses tattoos to lead into her speech, into her main point, but it is not the main point of her speech. So the correct answer is B. We need to learn how to live a life with regret. Again, this is a literal question where the answer is right in the passage, but it's a little tricky because the speaker uses the word agency in an unusual way. So you could get tricked with a question like this into thinking about how you commonly use that word yourself. But you need to go back and look at how she used it, and if you do, the answer is right there for you. So when the speaker says the two things regret requires are agency and imagination, she immediately defines agency as making a decision in the first place. So the correct answer is C, making a decision. The other answers, feeling like you could have done something else, is referencing something she's talked about, but it's not how she defines agency. B, hiring somebody to manage your career may trick you because you think about agents. And D, having urgency may sound like agency, but it's not the correct decision. So the correct answer is C, making a decision. Question 7 is again a literal question. The question is right in the speech, right towards the end. The tricky part about this question is you may once again go to your outside experience or your own feelings about what you most often regret. And you could, if you weren't being careful, answer the question based on what you think based instead of what's in the reading. So the trick here and the message you keep getting is to always focus on what's in the reading. So towards the end of the segment you watched, the speaker talks about research that she read on the leading cause of regret. And the correct answer is D, education. She said that that is number one by far, the leading cause of regret. And the other three, finances, career, and leisure, are all in the graph and they all are factors that lead to regret. But the speaker says that education by far is the leading cause of regret. She also goes on to say that finances are not nearly as troubling to people, financial decisions, as one might think. She uses examples of how financial decisions don't rank, even though we usually worry about them a lot. So that is a trick answer because the answer should be D, education.